So let's get into it. The episode starts with a not interesting interaction, but the baby bump was very cute. I love looking at ladies who are pregnant. I think it's a miracle to bring life into this world, but I'm not that interested. I don't even know what this lady is doing on a show. Moving on to something a little bit more interesting. Karlie Redd and her, again, engagement. I went looking because no, I don't think she's gonna. Okay, not that I know Karlie Redd, right? But if a person has been engaged multiple times, seems to keep picking guys who cheat on her, and she leaves them because there was really no foundation built to withstand cheating, do I think that in this case, once again, that this person is the one? So when she had all those interactions with her friends, Yandy's face when she says, I'm engaged, she's like, 3 engagements in 12 months? That was so funny to me because everybody's your person. Everybody can be a person. Everybody cannot be your person. And so it doesn't seem like she's known this guy long enough to really assess if he's her person. A lot of the online dating people will say go through 4 seasons with someone to really get a sense of who they are. And even after that, the honeymoon period can last up to 2 years. Once you're living with a person is honestly when you get the whole sense of who they are and what their habits are without the in between. You all are separate. They can hide this thing. They can be on their best behavior for a time. I don't think Karlie knows this man, and maybe he is her dream man, but history says no. So I did look on her social media. I did look on his Instagram to see what was being shared, and this is months later. What is the updates? Is there a wedding date? Anything like that? I think they filmed in like February, March. We're now in September, right? That's the last time a picture between them was shared on either of their platforms. I think he went ahead and shared the launch date of this season of Love and Hip Hop, but that was it. Now, they could very much well be lovey dovey all together, planning their wedding because social media is not real. But for people who live on social media and share so much of their lives on social media, I think it would be odd for someone like Karlie Redd to not share this part of her life when she kind of blasts everything else. The guy also shared a newborn. I don't know if the newborn is actually born in this past year of him knowing Karlie. That's the weird thing about social media. But I think the newborn is like this year baby. She left a comment of all hearts on his page under the video of the baby. Well, that's weird. I have a whole other video about Dr. Cheyenne when she said she doesn't want to date a man with kids. And I didn't add any stipulations to it. I just said, I think we should be looking for something deeper than just like the superficial parts of who a person is. But honestly, I would caution against anyone dating somebody with a newborn, especially if they're in their 40s or 50s. What are we doing? What are y'all doing? Why are you not with the person you just had a baby with? That's weird. We grown. It's not like we're 17. You like 37. You just had a baby, but y'all are not together. What are you doing? You just want to have a kid? This just seems real reckless to me. So knowing how he looks, how he talks, how he presents, Karlie Redd's history, I can't really see this being a marriage, like real married people. I can't really see that lasting. Regarding the kiss that Amy wanted them to do, I did think it was weird for her to ask. It didn't seem weird that they were kissing, but when I thought about it, I was like, it does kind of seem like a on-screen kiss. And if they're acting in Love and Hip Hop, then I don't think the kiss would be weird, right? Like people who are acting on TV do a great job of kissing the other person that they're not in a relationship with. It's just all pretend. I'm not sure if this is pretend. Like I think Karlie's really into it, but I do think she performs for a relationship. Like I think she is like in a fantasy world about what her relationships actually are versus the reality of what it is. And so I think she could kiss on cue and it look not cringe, right? I wasn't cringing when they did their peck. I thought they looked cute, but I also, watched movies where I thought, oh, the characters look so good together, but it's not real. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure it's really real. Let's talk about Yandy. Yandy's involvement with Kirk and Rasheeda and writing for the Frosts. okay, which is important, an important distinction. She's not writing for Rasheeda, she's writing for the marriage. Knowing Yandy's history, it would make sense why she's writing for the marriage versus looking out for the emotional well-being of her friend, which I do think she's doing. Side note, I am obsessed with tea. I don't think I've shared that. Well, on my vlog, I'm gonna have a vlog coming out, a homebody vlog. I'm obsessed with tea. So I wanted to go to the ginger room. I live in Atlanta, clearly. I live in Atlanta. There's been a number of tea places that I've gone to, some way better than others. Not to be mean on the ginger room. I haven't gone, but I wanted to go. I had them on my calendar. I had signed up, and they don't have an automated reminder system. They actually have a real person that texts you. And that lady, I imagined was a white lady, but now I really have no idea. But the way she was texting me to get me to confirm, I was like, this is the energy that y'all have in your tea room. I ain't going. So I confirmed I'm not coming. I'm not coming. And I won't be going back. It looks real quaint and cute inside. I like a tea situation that's a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more high end. Okay. I like to dress up and sip on tea. That's it about the ginger room. When Yandy met with Rasheeda and Rasheeda was talking about crying a lot, it was giving this is real, right? It's giving this is not a storyline. It's giving this is my life. It is my life. Which is weird, right? It's so strange that this is the story. If we focus on Rasheeda and Kirk and the fact that they keep meeting at these parks, strange. The fact that you have to plan for these scenes. And I'm going to plan to talk to Jasmine, and you're going to be there, and we're going to be at the park, and we're going to come to a resolution. But we're not going to come to a resolution because I honestly didn't really have a purpose in coming here. I wanted you to check her. You didn't check her. And so now I'm just big man. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. That whole scene was one of the strangest things I've seen on TV. I do think it's weird that Jasmine accuses Kirk of trying to sleep with her and then wants to communicate with Rasheeda instead of Kirk. I think that's weird. If anything, y'all should be going to the court to find a mediator to be the one that's the go-between the two people if you all cannot be adults, responsible, respectful, and communicate with each other about a 7 or 8-year-old. Like, this is really wild. It shows a lot of the immaturity on all people's parts. But in fact, this is most people in real life. I think just messy. Baby daddy trying to sleep with the woman he got pregnant on the side chick being in the mess, in the marriage, and the back and forth. So as I was watching this episode, I was thinking, you know what? What is happening to Rasheeda is not rare, right? The baby mama drama, the baby daddy back and forth between the two of them, even though I don't think, at this point, I don't think Kirk slept with her, but he tried to insinuate to see if she was down in keeping another secret. It sounded like he confessed when he was saying, you know, it was a moment of frustration. Like, I think he really did say something or allude to something, put a price on it. And I'm not saying, you know, there's so many different types of women. And I remember when Young Miami did that interview with, what's that guy's name? The light-skinned gay guy. And she's like, I'm a whore. I'm a whore. Okay. I do think there are women who believe in, I do think sex work is real work, view themselves as, I have a price. Like, my body has a price. And if you're like, I understand that kind of thinking and strategy if you're desperate. But if she's talking about she owns a whole business, she doesn't need this money. In fact, she's complaining about how much money she's getting. I don't think I would want any, I don't think I would give my baby daddy who's married to another woman a price for X service. I don't, X act. I don't think, it's all real strange. It sounded like she was playing into it based on the text. Why we're only getting the in the middle, almost the end communication in the text versus all the rest of it. I'm not surprised Kirk deleted it because incriminating, girl. But it does seem really strange. I was curious, like, what is her end game? It sounds like she wants to improve communication between the Frosts so that her son can have more exposure to her dad. Honestly, that's what it sounds like. And when Rasheeda got up and left, because are you crazy? What is wrong with you? Honestly. And Jasmine is young, but not that young. It honestly sounded like she was saying, I'm trying to do things better for my son, but I don't know who advised her that this was the way. I think, like I said before, I'm like, how much does she need to defend herself if her history is sleeping with married men, getting pregnant by married men, and then causing all this drama on social media after the fact, just real messy, messy, messy? If that's who she is, then not saying anything, I think, would do damage, right? If she didn't defend herself, if the narrative was out there that, hey, she's trying to get up on me, it would make her look bad. But this also makes Jasmine look bad. And I'm really not trying to give Kirk a pass. But if Rasheeda is not leaving him, because I went on their Instagram too, okay? They're still doing business together. They're still walking hands in hands together. They're still going out like we are the face of the Frost. Now, whether they actually have like a healthy marriage, loving marriage, whether they actually sleep together, there's so many sexless marriages, whether that's actually happening in their marriage, I have no idea. But what we see is that they're a united front. And so coming at them, other than the Frost, I don't think is a good idea. You come at them as a unit. You come at them. This is not a battle, Jasmine. Your goal here is not to battle these people, but to understand what their boundaries are. Sure, share what it is you want. You want more money. You want Kirk to spend more time with y'all's son. Okay, you express how you feel, and then they will express how they feel. And then you all will come to some agreement on what it is. Isn't that what y'all did in the court? Isn't there a whole document saying that? Okay, so then if the court says he's supposed to have him every third weekend of the month, if Kirk's behavior is then he's not coming for him, he's not communicating with him, he sees him every 3 months, that's your feedback. This is a grown man. He knows he has a child with you. If he does not want to spend time with that child, you can't force it. The best you can do is try to help your son cope with an absent father or a half in, half out father or a part-time dad. That's the best you can do. You could get married and have his stepfather, the man you marry, fall in love with him and be the father figure that it seems like you're looking for your son. But this strategy, I really think Jasmine's goal was to try and get better communication so that the son can spend more time with dad. Epic fail. Oh my gosh, epic fail. I think this is such a mess. Such a mess. Why Rasheeda and Kirk are playing all this on TV, maybe to be transparent, to be an example for people, and how you can bounce back from anything. Weird. Weird. I think for their place in life, for their big ages, big ages, I think it's strange. But I don't think the story of their marriage and the drama that's in it is unique to them. I do think it's important to mention that you personally do not have to be in a marriage that has this much chaos and confusion. First of all, you could pick a man that's unlikely to cheat. You can also have really clear boundaries about what it is that we're doing. How are we solving problems? How are we communicating so that this kind of breakdown in a marriage doesn't happen where then somebody is seeking. I mean, the person also has to be a person who doesn't believe in marriage, like the marriage vows, to step outside of your marriage. But lots and lots and lots of people, especially on these reality shows, have demonstrated to us that a husband can cheat. Rarely can the wife cheat and the man take her, but a husband can cheat and they can move on in their marriage and be happy together. We've seen it. So it's not like some wild fantasy world that Kirk and Rasheeda are in a relationship and this is happening. But at the level that it's happening now with Jasmine, it just seems messy for no reason. Like, y'all are too big. Rasheeda wanting Kirk to check check Jasmine for what she's saying is also strange because you know he did it. Like, you know he alluded to these things. Why you want him to lie on her more in front of you to save face. And that's also a mess. But then why would you put all your business on TV? She's not leaving him, which is fine. This is y'all marriage. Don't leave him. Do whatever y'all want. But is this the end of it, you think? Are we? What else could they possibly have? This has to be like the finito. They met. Rasheeda was there. There was no resolution. Unless they don't come back to find a resolution. Okay. I've had enough of Kirk and Rasheeda. Moving on. The short couple. I don't remember the guy's name, but I do remember Ashley. Ashley got on this show to get some questions answered. That's what she did. She thought this was a good idea because, what's his name? My husband is doing these things. I'm being treated this way in the family. If there's cameras around, it's going to be accountability. I don't think she said this consciously, right? But I think in the back of her mind, this was her goal. What we saw in getting all the family together and having other people listen to how things have been going, this is what Ashley wanted. She didn't expect that all this crying was going to happen. She thought there would be pressure for her husband to change that baby's last name, even though it's not a baby. It's like an 8-year-old. As I was listening to her obsess about the last name of the child, I'm like, this is not about the last name of the child. This can't be about it. What we got to in the end was, yes, he was cheating on you. He was playing on you at the beginning of y'all's relationship. Yes, he was. You knew that, which is why you're so bothered by the last name, because it's a constant reminder that he's not faithful, he's not trustworthy, that he is not really changing his behavior because he let it go on for so long after you initially caught him from the cheating, and you're so hurt by it. The trust has not been rebuilt, and this instance of him refusing to change the name is another situation where you feel disrespected, unvalued, and just lost in the relationship. Which is why, if you notice, she talks to this man real reckless. If this is what she's doing on camera, I can only imagine what she's doing behind the scenes, like when there are no cameras and they're really in a heated argument. She be talking to this man real disrespectful, real sly, real negative, and it might sound like, oh, haha, he, jokey, because she has such a high voice. But men really pick up on how you talk to them. Well, everybody picks up on how you talk to them, but men are, the ego of men. It's not lost on him that you don't respect him, right? He feels it. And then when you make those comments about, oh, you're dumb, or, because he didn't do the barbecue grill correctly. But she also said something when they first met and they were on this swing. And he's like, oh, yeah, there you go. He was like giving her a compliment about how she looked. There you go in your whatever she was wearing and some heels. And she's like, these are not heels. They're cowboy boots. Girl, nobody cares. The man is saying you look cute. Like, this is your husband. Can you just, in relationships, you have to let some things go. You don't always have to be right. Sometimes you just have to have peace. And especially for small things like that. But people in marriages like these, where the big issues have not been addressed, where there is so much pain and relationship trauma, the little things are where people, women like Ashley, try to take back some of their power. And she does it with words. Not helpful, but this is Love and Hip Hop. So what else can we ask for? We'll see how this goes. If this was a child from before she knew him, right? I think it would be strange that she's under so much pressure to get the name changed. Because if he's like a father figure to this child and he knows, and eventually the child will know that this is not his biological child, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? Like, this is like my adopted child then, except there's no official paperwork. But that's not the case. He had this child shortly after they met or got together or something. He cheated on her. He didn't have this child. You know what I mean, right? But we wouldn't be contemplating whether this was his child or wasn't his child if he never slept with the woman. And the way they talk about this Michelle, then people like Michelle. They like Michelle. They enjoy Michelle. That grandmother enjoyed going down there to see the grandbaby that's not her real grandbaby because she likes Michelle. She might like Michelle more than Ashley. And that's what Ashley feels like. I'm in competition. But you're the wife. I'm the wife. She really liked it when he said on the swing. She's the wife. But honestly, being the wife, having the ring means nothing if the person that you're with doesn't respect those vows, doesn't view marriage in the same way. So this is what you get. That's why they say this is what you signed up for. Did I sign up for to be cheated? Yeah. Yeah. You married a cheater. You married him after you found out that he had a baby. You married. So this is kind of what you signed up for. Why y'all don't learn to let these men cheat in peace? Like, you married. Oh, I thought things were gonna get better. I thought he was gonna change. I mean, girl. Okay, we've all been there, right? But I didn't marry the man. No, I wished and hoped for 3 or 6 months. And then I moved on. I didn't marry the man. Please don't marry the man. You will not change a man. I promise you. A man who loves you, loves you, loves you, wants to be with you, will do whatever it takes for the relationship to be healthy and whole. But all these people with all these issues barely even know how to do it for themselves. So I don't expect them to do it for their spouse to create this sense of safety and security. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality of what's happening. And then the last thing is Amy. I don't believe Amy's attracted to Scrappy. I want to believe it, but I don't believe it. I want to see Amy without makeup. Amy's pretty. I want to see Amy without makeup. I think she would be gorgeous. I haven't looked on her Instagram to see if she has pictures without makeup on. It sounds like, because wasn't she the one talking about girl code, girl code, girl code? You were complaining about Bambi being with your not man, a guy you used to go out with or see at home with for however long, 10, 12 years ago. But you would give googly eyes to your friend's ex-husband, who she has 3 kids with. You wildin'. You wildin'. Oh, you wildin'. Oh, if there ever was a picture that needed to be next to hypocrite, it's Amy with her beautiful self, okay? Because that's some nonsense. Remember what I said about Erica in my last review? Do I think Scrappy really was in the DMs? Yes. Isn't that what Scrappy has been doing this entire time we've known him on Love and Hip Hop? Which is weird why Erica would ever be attracted to this man again. Like Mama D says, it don't even make sense that you go into business with him. The man don't pay his bills. Strange. But maybe this is all for a storyline. These things are hard to tell. Like, is this even real? She said he was in her DMs. Okay. He maybe said hi. Was he really trying to see you? Was it just a heart next to your story photo? Or was he really in your DMs? We just have no idea. Maybe we'll see some of it play out. Maybe there will be a conflict between Erica and Amy. Ooh, we love fighting over a man, eh? Fighting over a man. I would recommend looking at my video on how to decenter men from your life. Not that we don't love the men, because I promise you, okay? I love the men. But I think it's very important to consider a life if you don't put a man at the focal point of it. Like, what are all the hopes and dreams that you have not yet realized? What are things that you have been putting off that you need to do now that would benefit you now versus waiting until you find the right relationship or the right person to do it with? What of those things can you do in the next 6 months, the next 2 years? What if you never find somebody? I think it's important to create a life that you really, really, really enjoy. That way you have like the freedom to clearly add a person who is adding to your joy, adding to your peace, versus being so distracted by them and their happiness or their energy or them liking you that you just accept whatever. Okay? That will be linked in the description box. Click on it if you can see yourself in any of these women on Love and Hip Hop. Okay. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for the rest of these reviews. And thank you for watching.